Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We ought to go ahead. We ought to get this party
Let's
started.
pop it.
We about to get this party started.
He already started. I know
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday afternoon. You already know what's going down. We are your midday, well, Eastern Standard Time. We your midday experience. You listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. We need y'all to like us, follow us, subscribe, and share us. Cause listen, we bringing you the stuff.
All that.
We bringing you all of that.
All that.
We got all of that. We got all of that. We bringing you the stuff, and it's getting warm outside. So for all the folks, listen, y'all been driving a little reckless. Pay attention, please. Slow down, pay attention, and pay attention to the men and women that's on their bikes and their hogs and their scooters.
Pay attention to us bikers.
Yes, Lavish is a avid biker, and the weather was nice this weekend, so y'all was out, and I saw y'all.
Oh yeah, Coco, she seen the bikers out there.
So this is the sidebar before I introduce the guest. So I don't know if people know, I've been in the bikes and old school cars for a really long time, and I was down at Sweetwater Sunday night getting me some wings. I had worked at Birds, went to get some wings, minding my own business. I saw two bikes. They was Harleys. They was like a royal blue and white. And it had to be a father and a son because the son was on a smaller bike. Both of them was hogs though. Let's be very, very clear. Let's be clear. Beautiful bikes. And I was just sitting there like, I started to get out and have a fan moment, like, hey, how you doing? My name Coco, whatever. But I didn't. But they were very nice bikes, two very handsome men. Like I said, looked like a father and a son. And I said, I just need to be on the back of that.
That's what you thought, huh?
In my mind. But then I know what go with that, ride on the back of a bike.
I don't know what go with that, Coco.
You know.
I don't know, so
Okay,
don't say I know.
So let me say
Don't
this.
say I know.
I don't know if this rule still apply.
Okay.
But when I was hanging out, it used to be, if you could get a woman on the back of the bike, you can get a woman on the front of your bed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I've never heard that.
Listen, well, if
I've never heard that.
Okay.
I haven't had many people on the back of my motorcycle.
Well,
but the people that you have had on the back will
Yeah.
have
did they wind up in the Lavish? Because think about it. You got to really trust somebody to get, okay, it's trust go two ways.
Okay.
The trust go to the person that's riding the bike, the driver, and the person go to the trust. If I'm on the bike with you, okay, and I'm looking at you, I outweigh you. But if I'm on the back of your bike, you got to trust me that I'm going to move when you move. I know how to lock and unlock my legs and all that. Then am I holding your vest? Are my hands tucked this way? Are my arms around your waist? So if I'm that confident in you and I'm not your friend or your family member, if I'm just a stray that you done picked up on the strip, then if you get on the back of that man bike, he gonna talk you into getting in the front of his bed. But we gonna
I don't know about that. I mean,
ask some of your biker buddies.
Listen.
That sounds like a whole show.
I'm a clean type of biker.
Okay.
I don't have people on the back of my motorcycle, because I don't want to put anybody's life at risk.
Or your own.
Or mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm a cautious. I probably can count very small numbers of people who've been on my motorcycle.
Did any of them, after they rode your bike, later on wind up in your bed? Or you gonna plead the fifth?
Sometimes they be on the handlebbar. Sometimes they been bringing right over the seat.
That's a funky thing there. Okay, listen. We gonna introduce our guest.
Pull up in this park real quick in the dark. Yeah.
I had a buddy used to have. He had installed these little knobs.
Just go in your garage. Let's put a bike in the garage.
He had put these knobs under his seat on his bike, and when he hit the button, the little knobs would vibrate. Anyway.
I got a Harley, so we vibrate anyway.
Okay,
but back to what you said, when you put
listen.
a person on the back of the bike, listen, Coco, what I do, I got a Harley. I got a backrest and everything.
Are y'all looking at him? Look at him when he say this.
I got a Harley. You know, you dig what I'm saying? Well, I tell people I want you to be real comfortable. So, lady, when you get up on here, just push your body up on me so you can lock in, squeeze your legs around me.
Thighs.
You know, and then what I do to make them feel secure, I grab their thighs when I'm riding, so that I know that
where
they know you good. So, I just, relax them by rubbing their thighs. And I tell them, I say, listen, you don't have to push up on me too hard. And when they do, I just grab their hand. I'll be like, no, what you want to do when you ride, just put your hand right here. Grab that muscle, that tissue, and if you get a little scared or if you get excited, just let me know, signal by just squeezing it a little more. So, yeah. And then next thing you know, we ride and I say, hey, where we going? Well, can we stop by my house for a second? I have to get something.
I know that.
You
got a Harley, so.
Do you want to come in for a second? I gotta check on something. I gotta check on my kids. Oh, I forgot my kids. They're with their dad.
Yeah. Oh man, not today with their daddy.
Yeah, but anyhow, we got a great show today.
We got a great show, and
we got our guests. We got Rudolph right here. Excuse me.
See that?
Two more.
I ain't gonna say nothing. You listen. You my
She's
folks.
She's gonna guide us.
We go. So listen, we got Trisha Duckworth in the building. So let me tell y'all about Trisha. Trisha is I don't want to say, but you are a community activist, and you do have an organization that deal with the tough subjects, deal with us. It's community based. You do a lot of work in the community. You kicking off a series of events starting Friday in the Ypsilanti, Belleville area. And I'm honored to have you because you one of the women that's in the trenches, and you're not just one of the people that be like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what it is. So Trisha.
Yes.
And I like your name. Trisha. I said it wrong one time and somebody corrected. No, it's Trisha. I said I wouldn't mess it up in front of her. It was like, well, just practice saying it right. That's your folks that love you.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Trisha in the building, Trisha Duckworth, and talk about your organization and some of the stuff that you got going on, because you are a busy woman. You about that life.
Oh, well, thank you so much, first of all, for you both having me here. It is an honor. And it's even more of an honor to have you with us on this journey. Let's talk about Survivor Speak for a minute.
Yes.
Survivor Speak, while we do honor traditional survivors of rape, molestation, domestic violence, we understand that all of us are surviving something.
Yeah.
And what do we do to put a voice to that pain and turn it into our passion? So you got to deal to be able to move into those things that you're supposed to be doing in life. And so that's pretty much our focus. And we highlight social injustice, taboo topics, things that people don't want to talk about. And back last fall, we did something called Pull Up, Turn Up, where we pulled up right in the hood. And we brought all the amenities, the video game trucks, the face paint, all that. And we wanted to hear the community's voice around social injustice, racial injustice, and the political arena. And we asked them 2 questions on this survey. And it was, has your legislators reached out to you? And have you reached out to your legislators? Both of those questions for 114 people were no.
Really?
So we knew that we have an engagement issue.
Okay.
Meaning that our legislators are not engaging those that are what we consider in the Bible the least of these, low income, disenfranchised communities. And because we don't really get involved in the political arena, we don't. So the civic duty education night is to pull up in the hood again and say, hey, we got to get to these tables where people are making decisions for us, without us, in an inspiring way, not in shaking our fingers at the community for not being present. Because we're not present because they haven't wanted us to be present.
Yeah. And a lot of people, Trisha, don't know how to connect.
That's right.
You know, they like, well, I want to write a letter, I want to send an email, but I don't want to sound stupid, or I don't want them to look at me a certain way. And we think anything that deals with the government is going to affect our money and our household. That's one of our biggest concerns. If I send this letter, what going to be the repercussion? So, yeah, keep going. I had to say that. Okay.
Well, that's an interesting point, because what they do does affect our household.
Yeah.
In a major way. But unfortunately, if we have that mindset to be scared, look, these people work for us.
Yeah.
We hire them. And so we are trying to change that mindset to where, not that we don't respect our elected officials, but our elected officials need to understand they need to respect us in all voices, not just those who they want to engage to get their votes.
And sometimes they do use the people, and we can say the word use, they do use people that they know have a voice and all of those things, because it becomes an arena or a platform for them to like, okay, I'm going over here in this particular community. One of the activists in their community is this person. So we gonna see what we can do. I like that, because we do have to have a conversation, especially now, especially everything that's going on in the communities, in the schools, how, and this is the amazing part to me. And Lavish and I have had this conversation because he ran for police commissioner. Was it last year?
Awesome.
Yeah, last municipal election, I ran for Detroit police commissioner for District 2. I didn't win though, but I ran.
Well, that's all right. You ran. Though.
I ran.
Yeah,
a good fight. So and I will do it again. Next election.
You should.
Yeah, you should.
District 2 police commissioner.
Because we need people that look like us, that knows what's going on. It's so many people that at the end of the day, and especially if you downtown and you by any freeway at 5 o'clock, see who jump on the freeway. Now they come down in the city and work, but they don't live down here. And they jump on the freeway. They going to Livonia, they going somewhere else. And the people that make the decisions are the people that's making the decisions for a small pocket of the community. What about the people that don't live downtown?
That's right.
What about the people that can't afford $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom condo? What are these people supposed to do? And then we got issues, Trisha. So we talking about, this event is going to talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
Healing.
Yeah.
We got to heal.
Yeah. We're going to talk about all of that. But we're also going to highlight how much power we have when we collectively come together. See, our one voice and our one vote, even though that's important, it might not mean as much as that collective voice and that collective vote. And so that's what we're trying to inspire, is for us to use our power. So that's why we brought in the partners that we brought in. We brought in Ipsy Cannot Share, because Ipsy Cannot Share is going to walk people through how to engage their legislators, who they are, what's their office number, the things that you can reach out to them for. We brought in VAC, which is Voting Access for All Coalition, because they're going to bust through that myth that people with felonies cannot vote. When you were released from MDOC for a certain period of time, they were telling people you can't vote if you're on parole. That is a lie.
A big lie.
It's a big lie. Even if you are in the county jail and you are not in prison yet, you can still vote.
So wait, say that again, because there's people that don't know that. They don't. And Lavish, we talked about this. It's people that feel like, if I'm incarcerated in any kind of way, I lose all my power as a citizen.
No,
that's not true. But I do want to say this, and you can agree if you know, they have other cities and states outside of Michigan where they don't allow felons to vote.
Yeah.
Wow.
Today, in today's world, they take that away.
Yep.
I don't know what it'll take to change that in their state. They have to get with lawmakers why it has not been changed as of today in other, especially in the southern states.
Yeah, I believe Florida's one of them. I believe Mississippi is one as well.
Yeah,
I'll have to look those up and post them. Thank you for bringing that up.
And that population alone, it still builds up.
Yeah.
A separate population.
It does.
Of voters. They're still paying taxes. They're still living there.
Yeah.
But you strip, the rights for them to vote because of this felony conviction that they had on their thing. So people that live in states like Michigan who have a felony on their record and able to vote, sometimes they're not utilizing. Not utilizing that right to go out there and vote.
And that's kind of, so Trisha, this is about what I'm thinking about. Like, if I'm paying taxes, I'm working, but
I'm just as good as the next person.
Yeah, and you've taken one of my rights away because of whatever I've done. So am I less a citizen or I'm not? And that's a deep question. That's something really to think about. Like, you've taken my rights away because of whatever I did, but you still want my money and taxes. If I buy a home, you still want everything else, but you've taken my voting rights away. So that's even more the reason that we got to get out and vote. And that's part of the thing when I see voting, that it seems like every election they try to make the voting process harder and harder.
Yeah. And that's a legislation thing as well, right? All of the things that are put in place for us to be able to freely vote and those things that are being stripped, our legislators are putting those things in place. So this is even more reason why we have to engage these folks. And when you said something about returning citizens, they are the ones that are closest to the problem. So they are the ones that have the solution. But you got to think about it. If somebody told you that you can't vote, and that's been passed down through generations, this is just what our people are going to believe. We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And so I don't necessarily come as an accusatory towards the people, because I understand what happens when they rock you to sleep. Because I was once in that position where I was rocked to sleep. And I had to awaken myself to say, hey, you need to get to these doggone tables. That didn't happen for me when I was in a place of privilege. It happened for me when I lost everything. Wow. And I had to go through these systems, and I said, oh my gosh, I understood. I believe God took me through those systems to change my mindset so that I could come and be a representative for our people and go and awaken those that would hear. So,
and it is a process. And a lot of times people don't believe the experience until you actually go through it. Like, I think what was most traumatic for a lot of people when we figured out, for those that really paid attention, was the pandemic. I think that was the most earth-shattering experience, where the government say everybody got to wear a mask, everybody got to do this, some form of unemployment and all of those things. And I think a lot of people who never thought about it, who had not ever got public assistance or any of those things, you had to now rethink all the stuff that you was being stereotypical about. Only certain people get bridge cards. Only certain people get medical assistance and all of that. And even with the assistance and even with the stuff you get, people still look at you kind of crazy. It's and especially for men. It's discouraging for So
you said something though. COVID leveled the playing field. It humbled people that thought they was in this high and mighty place. Your money didn't mean nothing. Your church didn't mean nothing. Nothing meant nothing. We were all at ground zero trying to get our way through here. And what it showed us was also legislatively how things work. The federal government put things out, but the state were the ones that were making decisions for us. So it showed us how important it is for that governor position. It showed us how important our Congress positions are, our senator positions are. A lot of times we don't vote in those off elections if it's not for a president or if it's not a big voting cycle. So we pulling up saying, hey, I get it. These folks have not engaged you, and that was wrong. But we're not waiting on nobody to engage us no more. We are taking our rightful place, and we are coming together to fight for change the way that we know that we need it.
I love it. We pulling right up on you. The first event is Friday at 5:00. So wait a minute. So how much it costs?
It's free.
No, for real. How much it costs?
Yeah, this is a totally free event. As a matter of fact, we're giving things away. Because we don't...
Hold on. So I ain't got to pay nothing. I just got to show up and be in the place.
Just show up.
Lavish, you showing up. Lavish going to pull up in the tow truck. I already know. He going to pull up on the grass with the lights.
Yeah, don't bring the bike. We don't want the bike energy.
You know what? You sit there. Hey, I thought Lavish was going to be here. He just rolled off with somebody.
He rolled off into the sunset. So it don't cost nothing.
Nothing.
And y'all giving stuff away. Y'all giving away. I like that giveaway part.
Well, when we pulled up with Pull Up, Turn Up and with the Civic Duty Education Night series, we believe it's dishonoring to go into a community that has not been engaged, that's been forgotten about, that's been tossed to the side without anything. So if we're wondering why we're not hearing from the part of the community, is because we're not going the right way. We got to humble ourselves and go in with those things that we know can pull the community out. So we finna eat good. We finna have some chicken, macaroni and cheese, and green beans, and rolls, and all that good stuff.
Some food.
We're gonna break bread. See, when you start to do things like that, you become not so much head to head, you open and become heart to heart. So we're coming in and vulnerable. We're gonna break bread together, and then we're gonna go through this series. Everybody who was a part and who does contact their legislator at the end and shows us that, they will be entered in a drawing to win either a free Xbox or a PlayStation 5.
What? So listen, y'all, listen. And I know this to be tried and true and proven because they do such wonderful things, such amazing things in the community. All we need y'all to do is be present in the space on Friday. It's at Park Ridge Community Center. Y'all know where that is, right on Armstrong Drive in Ypsilanti. All the folks from Ypsilanti and Belleville in that area show up. Yeah. Bring your children because it's children free. It's a family event.
Yes, it is. It's a family affair.
So bring your children.
The children are the draw. We figured it out. We'll pull up, turn up. We pulled up with all the amenities and the kids came running over. Okay. Can we be a part? Go get your mama.
Yep.
And they was dragging their mamas over. And the mama was like, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm curious. Am I supposed to fill out something? But guess what? We got 114 survey entries.
That's good.
And we got the voice of 114 people. And in turn, their children were able to eat off the video game truck, off the food truck, and take advantage of all the amenities. We got to pull into our communities the right way.
And the children get to see the parents in a different light because you see your parent one way, and we do have to, you have to lead by example. Yeah. So, mama, what you doing? What you feeling out? I'm feeling out so-and-so and such and such. So it sets the tone for everything that's going on. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Lavish, let me ask you a question. As a man, as a black man in the community, what's one of the things that you think we really need to kind of focus on in terms of helping to heal the community? What's one of the conversations that you think, because me and you joke about stuff all the time, but what's one of the conversations that you really think we need to have? I got it. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm going to speak on me from my
absolutely
my perspective of things growing up then to now. The role models. I grew up on, I straddled the fence. Okay. Because I had some of the older guys that will school me on life and try to guide me in the right direction. But then I also had, some of the big homies.
Yeah.
That you kind of looked up to, so you did what you thought was cool, and what they will accept you for.
Yeah.
And for me, I kind of lived their life. I mean, I lived my life. I'm trying to word it right. The things that I was doing were the things that they were talking about doing.
Okay.
But they never really did it in real life.
Oh.
Okay. And I think that that's a big issue, because me being younger, I thought that a lot of these guys were really, cutthroat.
About that life.
Was like that. And me being a younger guy, what do? You think that they're the coolest guys ever. Yeah. And you try to follow them, but not knowing that
they ain't did none of that.
Yeah. So that was for me, that was a bad thing for me, because I became the guy that actually had the heart, but didn't know that I actually gained more heart than what they did. So they were telling me and being an influence to me to be a person that they were not. And when I started to go out here, now I'm starting to get in some trouble. I'm getting in real life trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that they know what to do.
And they
because I'm figuring, well, they did it. And now they're looking at me, whoa, man, he really went out there and he did that. And now I'm the one that's sitting there stuck.
Yeah.
Because I thought that this was what you do. Yeah. I thought that this was cool. And I would probably say that we need more role models out there, more big homies to really be more realistic to the people out here, to let them know, like, it's okay to be, it's cool to be yourself. It's cool not to be the bad guy. Because in my era, the bad guy was the cool guy.
Yeah.
You were cool. And then now, as I'm grown, as I'm a father, it's like, listen, man, you don't have to do what they doing.
Yeah.
You can be perfectly cool in your own lane, by being uncool. Sometimes some of the uncoolest guys are actually the coolest guys.
Yeah, the ones they always say, "Oh, he a square, he a nerd, or whatever."
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep from crying because that was so emotional and transparent because it's so many young men that go through that experience.
Yeah.
And
so
young women.
So you hear the person that you looking up to say, "Yeah, they so and so and so and so." So you want to be like them. So when you jump out there and do it, and find out that they ain't did none of the stuff that they talked about.
They didn't do none of that. And you sit back in hindsight, especially for me, I'm like, man, what I do all that stuff for, man? I done went out here, done been in trouble with the law. I'm thinking like the other guys in the hood was hot.
Yeah.
As I grew, I'm the guy.
You the hot guy.
I'm the one that, and when I say hot, I'm speaking about I'm the one that actually one of the few that made my hood hot.
That really jumped off the porch.
Yeah.
They
like, man, you got the police riding around here. You doing this. And I'm sitting there like, we. Yeah. And it's like, nah. And then as I got older, like some of the big homies in my hood, some of the big homies that I thought was like, rough and tough. Now I'm hanging out with the real rough and tough guys, but they don't look like the image of the rough and tough guys. They're the guys that stay away from all the action. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that's clean. They know everything that's going on, and they're the ones that's calling me, but now they're talking to me.
Okay.
So now they're like training me on how to move like a boss.
Yeah.
And I say that because a lot of times we look at the guys that's clean cut. We never see them get their hands dirty. We never see them do this. And as I learned in business, those become the guys that's the most dangerous guys. Yeah. Growing up in the hood, you don't know that until you get there. So my thing would be just a lot of mentorship.
Okay.
Big homies being realistic to the young guys to let them know this is not really the way to go. Yeah. And this is not really as cool as you think it is.
That part. Yeah. And the consequences behind it. And you said something that was so powerful because when you think about role models, you go back to the 60s and 70s. If there wasn't a father in the home, who wrapped around the family? The church did. That's a whole nother story and conversation. Right?
Oh my goodness.
But we've got to get to the point where we come outside those four walls and be of effect in our communities. I ride past, it'd be like 20 churches in a 3-mile radius. Yeah. What are you doing to impact the community?
Nothing.
And then when you talk about our OGs, I get so upset sometimes. And there are some OGs that's out here representing, like in Ypsilanti area, supreme felons, they holding it down.
Yeah.
Right? But when you think about our OGs, they know the consequences because they done been in the streets. They'll clean their life up, all of that, and then they go and sit at home. No, you don't get to do that. You need to come back in this neighborhood.
Wait, Trisha, you said they don't get to do that?
You do not get to do that. Sit at home and act like you did not just tear this community down and got a whole slew of kids following after what you did. You better get back in this community, denounce the myth of the baller, and let them know that there's consequences to every doggone action. I'm not going to call the rapper's name right, but there's a rapper that, he talk about all of that. But he was a corrections officer.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Talk about you being a correction officer. Why are you talking about a life that you didn't necessarily live unless you was living it undercover? Let's be real with these kids because rap and a lot of other things are raising our kids when we need to be. And we got to take on that concept of a village. So what if a mother is struggling? And a father is struggling? That's where we step in and wrap around the whole family, love them back to life, and that's how we save our community one family at a time.
Because it's love, it's love in the struggle.
Yeah.
Me being a little older, I remember, and like second age, you talk about the 60s and 70s. I remember my mother being a single parent, and then the lady that lived across the street, she was a single mother, and it was a few single mothers on the block. But I also remember, like, my mother, if A&P had fryers on sale 29 cents a pound, and it was 2 per person, I be standing in line with 2 bloody wet chickens.
Yeah.
My sister be standing in line, and my mother. So that's 6 chickens.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor across the street, she done went and bought a big thing of rice or a big bag of potatoes. So my mother would say, take these 2 chickens across the street, and Miss B gonna give you some rice or whatever. So we did that, but it was love in the struggle.
Yeah.
If it snowed, Miss B's had 2 sons. Her sons would get out there, shovel our snow, shovel somebody else's snow, whatever. And it was always love, and it was always community based in that, in the struggle. I think when we started, I ain't gonna say I think, when we started to make a little more money.
Yeah, we got comfortable.
And assimilate with other folks.
Yeah.
We didn't want to, like you said, the guys in the hood that destroyed the neighborhood, now that they got themselves together and all of that, they go sit at home and look out the window. I think part of that is embarrassment because they tore the whole neighborhood to shreds.
Okay.
They got children all over the neighborhood, and they feel like it's better for them just to sit and kind of look out the window and not be a part of what's going on. I think you owe us some reparations, Big Daddy Woo Woo, to come on out here.
No, you know.
Well, share your testimony.
Yeah,
That's
at
the
least
thing.
your testimony.
Don't be
Lavish.
ashamed of your testimony.
I
Whatever
think it's
we
a
go through in
double-sided.
life
I
builds
think
us
it's a
up.
double-sided. I think it's a double-sided sword. I do, and I mean, in theory, what you saying, Coco, it sounds good. However, me, because I'm active and I'm actually out here in the streets, not in a bad way per se,
No,
but
not at all.
because I work out here and I see this stuff. These guys that you were talking about that are tucked away, they moved out. Well, they didn't make it that far by being in the way. And that's how I think and how I feel about it. They didn't make it to dodge and avoid the stuff that they dodged and avoid by staying where they're at. So once they got out of this hood, I'm not saying it's a good or a bad. Everybody moves a little different. Everybody's not trying to see your success. Everybody's not trying to see your growth. It depends on who you are.
Yeah.
I might be that guy that terrorized Puritan at one point in time. And they say, well, Lavish, he don't ever come back around the hood. I'm still on Puritan, represent Puritan Avenue. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is they are out of Dodge because they know what could possibly happen.
Okay.
I understand
So for their safety, it's like I've been there already. And I grew enough to know I just...
You did too much damage to come back.
Right.
I get
that,
it.
or I'm just in the safety zone because I know that them boys over there they not living on the cold no more.
Yeah.
They're not cold.
You know.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that because I got guys that I talk to that I watch grow up and they say ain't nothing over there for me. I made it out of here.
Yeah.
They not trying to hear nothing I gotta say. And now you got the guys that's still coming up. What will they do to make a name for themselves? So why put myself in harm's way? But then you still got some of the old guys, and this is why I personally like talking to the older guys. I've been a grandparent's child all my life, so my friends has always been older because I've always been around older people because of me growing up in an older household. A lot of the older men that I looked up to and guided me, navigated me through life that's still out here, they have a lot of money. And they don't look like they have a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they're in your face every day.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the guys that look right over them, and they don't want to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem sitting down every time I see them and just getting fed knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's why me personally, I'm the way that I am when it comes down to being flashy. I used to think that, hey, when I get some money, man, I want to do this and I want to have all this stuff. And then I started to see what real money looked like. I started to see when the guys that were flashy needed money, it was the guys that didn't have a flash that gave them the money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was the guys out here, the old, and when I say these older men, These guys, some of them don't believe in banks, so I laugh and I say, "Did you go in the backyard and dig that up?"
You know they did.
You know, but those guys taught me how to stay out of the way.
Yeah,
they taught me you don't have to show what you got. I have this. It's guys that I watch still to this day that's alive that wear the Southern coveralls or Dickie work pants and what they do, I can get in the car with them and they can ride me around all the different properties that they own.
Yeah, because listen, they got property, they got all the money invested in whatever, and then they be like, listen, if we had about 2 days, I'd drive you to Mississippi and show you all these houses I got in Mississippi, Alabama. Because and you are absolutely correct. And those men are married to the women who are the same way. They the woman that with the jogging suit on. She might have a nice designer purse and a nice car, but that's it. And you're right, Lavish. They left, and if you want to listen to them, fine. Because I was like you. I sat around older people. They played cards. They would trust me. And that's how I made my money when my mama had the card parties. They tell me to light their cigarette don't be puffing on the cigarette. Well, how I'm going to get this cigarette from the stove to you if I don't hit it? But I got to hit it once with a headache. But I listened to them. And they would the elders didn't let a whole bunch of people in the room to listen to them. So when they invited you in, they gave you a lot of information, life information, that when they was telling you, it didn't make sense. But now you grown, you like, oh, so if I got a yeast infection, I could take a potato and slice it and put it between my and it killed it.
Coco, I knew something was gonna go sideways. I knew it was gonna be some sex somewhere in the conversation. I knew it had to do with some legs.
No, you just saying
opening body part.
Okay.
What did I tell you before the show? What did I tell you before the show?
I'm not in it.
You know, what did I tell you, Pat, before the show?
Okay. No, but you know what? I think what you're both saying is very, very real. But
I just ain't never gonna turn my back on the hood. I want to move different. Yeah. And this might be a problem for me because I do have people that's always constantly saying, Lavish, man, when you gonna get out the hood? And I know that you got people that say, man, you know, a lot of times people that make it and they stay in the hood, bad things always happen. On the flip side, I'm so used to my environment. This is where I'm comfortable at. Not saying that I don't want to move out somewhere, but me, I don't want to sound dumb when I say this, man, but I wear Pearson Avenue on my heart. I wear it across my chest, you know, and it comes with good and bad. Yeah, it comes with good and bad. And I mean, one day I will, you know, leave out the hood, but I'm still.
But
it's like I gotta be in the hood.
Saying. You don't have to live in a certain area to help impact a certain area, and that's the thing that I think. And somebody's role might not be going to talk to the kids. We all got a debt to pay when it comes to building up our communities and making our communities safer. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Yeah, we got to save ourselves. So what does that look like? We did something back in early 2021. We did a forum, Are You an Activist? And we wanted people to see that when they think about activism, they think about the bullhorn and the marching. I do that too. But for me at a march, it's more about the marching orders than the march.
What do you say when you're on the bullhorn? Give us a pre example. You got to go like this. Okay, now you got the bullhorn. You got the bullhorn. Give us something on the bullhorn.
No justice, no peace.
Do you go like this?
No racist police.
You don't raise your hand on that?
Nah, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. When you take that bullhorn, whatever you say should be empowering and should be inspiring the people to move beyond the march into doing the work. Period. Point blank.
Your presence has power. So I know cats that if I call them, I be like, hey, listen, this is what's going on. All right, where you gonna be? Okay, listen, I got a couple $100 I'm gonna drop off. Go on buy the kids some shoes and do whatever need to be done. Mm-hmm. Or especially when I was on the radio. Yeah. So if we talked about a family or a situation or whatever, before I got off the air, hey, and I would see it show up, whatever it say, private call. Hey, Coco, this your man's. Listen, call me back. I got something for that family that, got burnt out their house or whatever. I don't want nobody to know it's me. So that would be how it was. I knew where to call. I knew where to pull up, you know, and it was like a drug transaction. He throw the envelope of money in the car and pull off, but he didn't want, or she didn't want nobody to know. Because I had girlfriends, hey, stop by the salon. We got some money to donate. And that's their way of giving back, because they don't want that attention and that physical presence. But I think we all owe something to somebody. And if it's not for us, Trisha, I got a daughter and a grandson. So I just want to do good, because I want good to follow me and to follow my family. It's not about a public recognition. It's not about that. I just want the people around. When you a blessing and when you do the right thing or whatever, it impacts your whole circle of folks. So Friday, we're going to be getting it in.
Yes, and Valerie's going to be hosting along with. Let me tell you about Valerie. Valerie is, I call her my boss because I also work at SOAR. SOAR is Strategies to Overcome Obstacles and Avoid Recidivism. I started Survivor Speak in 2018 while I was at SOAR. Now, most times when you start a business under somebody, it's friction. It has never been that. No, Valerie has, she has every step of the way, down to the point where she said, hey, I'm going to cover this cost for you over here for the civic duty education night. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to host. I mean, she is just an absolute blessing. But that's what it's going to take. We got to pour into one another. We got to stop being so petty and so catty. When we support each other, when we show up for each other, that's when we win. And I thank you, Valerie, if you're watching. I love you, sis.
And people pay attention to that. People pay attention to, because me and you, when we talk about young women hear us, but they also watch us.
They watch us.
They watch how we move and how we show up. And when you don't think they looking, they watching.
That's right.
They watching us. Hey, auntie, you here for so-and-so and so-and-so? You need anything? And they may seem a little cold because how they are is the environment that they came from.
The trauma that they done had to climb through.
Yeah, they listen. I used to tell people all the time, they'd be like, oh, well, we going to send this student down to your class. When I would run my little programs in high schools, we going to send them down here because we can't do nothing with him. I said, stop saying that.
Yeah.
Stop saying you can't do nothing. Well, we talked to her and she come to class smelling like weed. I said, you don't know what that baby have to go through. In the morning from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock till she get to school. I said, you don't know who live in that house. You don't know how many kids she got to get ready because whatever parent ain't there. You don't know what the structure is in that household. So she might be stressed out by the time she get to school. So you don't know her situation. So you just got to be nice and kind. Well, she going to have to, I know, because this ain't your life. This ain't your world. What I'm saying to you ain't making no sense. So they watch us, and we are under the microscope, and they see us, and they determine, they be like, nah, she acting fake. I don't really like her. And once a young person cut you off.
That's it. You got a small window to build that rapport, which is why when we do these things, we bring in what we call the bells and whistles. Because the bells and whistles help us to build a rapport so that we can get past that wall of trauma that people have built up. That trauma is real in our community. And until we start to deal with that trauma first at the core of people's soul, then nothing will work. We have to deal with that and then help meet people where they are and slide them through to who they really are. Because we all were born somebody. We just have to be and walk into that.
And that's why Lavish able to move in and out of the circles and stuff. Because I'd have been places, they'd be like, Coco, Lavish here. And I'm like, well, where he at? He done came in and everything. Because I done said, okay, text me when you get to the door. Lavish done got through the door. And they be like, everybody know who Mr. Lavish is. I'm like, okay, well, I know y'all know. But I just didn't want him to get no static at the door. But him being who he is allows him to move and navigate.
His spirit.
Yes. Yeah. So you got to, in order to be trusted, you got to be trustworthy.
That's right.
Yeah, you definitely
you got to be trustworthy.
I mean, then it's the energy. It's the energy that you bring into the room as well.
Yeah.
You know.
People pay.
You don't got to open your mouth. What spews out of your spirit, people are gonna feel it off. Just
how you make people feel is way more important than anything that you could say out of your mouth.
That's right.
How do people feel when you walk in the room. And people say, well, that's not. I say, listen. I say, of course, it's gonna be some people that may not feel a certain way, but when you walk in and people know that you genuine and you sincere or whatever, and you walk in with your head up and speaking, hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? People automatically feel okay. Because if it's a room full of people, they shoulder square like, I don't know what's going on. So Friday, this is my commercial. I'm gonna do the whole thing, and then Trisha gonna interpret it. But I'm the Civic Duty Education Series starts this Friday. This is the first stop. We doing a tour. We doing a tour. First stop is at Partridge Community Center, right there on 591 Armstrong Drive in Ypsilanti. Kids are welcome. They're gonna have a video game truck, face painting, and they doing a PlayStation giveaway. You got to come. You're part of the drawing. It's a process. You don't just show up and they hand you. No, that's not how it goes. Parents, please explain that to your children. Or between me and Valerie, we'll explain it. And we're going to talk about all the stuff. Black votes matter. Black lives matter. All the things that are important to us. It's absolutely free. Bring your children, and they're going to have food. So listen, Friday evening, it start at 5. Y'all know we usually eat late on Friday. So if you get there and the kids eat, then you ain't gotta cook. Oh, I said that. Right. And they're gonna have a DJ and some music. DJ Roxy gonna be on the turntables, y'all.
On the ones and twos.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, we gotta say this. Big shout out to Black Voters Matter Fund for this grant that is making this possible. They are all throughout the state of Michigan. They're all throughout the nation, killing the game, bringing that inspiration to our communities to get to these tables. So thank you to Stephanie, who is the statewide coordinator. We appreciate you all for standing alongside us in this fight.
So that's where we're gonna be. So Trisha, wait a minute. I know where the community center is. You could take 94.
Yeah. To Huron, 183, exit 183, bust that right. Take it to Harriet Street, that first light, at Bud and Joe's and them 2 gas stations right there, and bust that left on the Harriet Street. You carry it on down till you get to Armstrong. You'll see it right there, the big sign, Parkridge Community Center. Big ups to Parkridge and my boss, where I did my internship at, Anthony Williamson there, that are allowing us, and Mia, Lanier Durkins. Thank you all for allowing us to come in and be there in the community. We appreciate it.
I love it.
With all that stuff she just said, just put it in your GPS.
Just put it. Listen, Lavish, let me tell you what happened one time.
Put it in your GPS. Call it a day.
That part.
I went to Ypsi and I was headed to. I was doing a play, and it's a guy from Ypsi, and he reminds you of Kevin Hart. You probably know who I'm talking about.
Rashard, probably.
Yep, short. Yes,
yep,
short.
Richard.
Yes, yes. So he gave me the address, but the address was a north and a south address. I just put the address in, and it kept taking me to the cemetery.
Oh, wow.
Whatever street it was, it ran from the cemetery to St. Joe's Hospital.
Oh, yes.
So, I'm like, after I got to the cemetery twice, I called. I said, listen, Richard. He said, where you at? Where? I said, I'm at the cemetery. He said, quit playing. I said, no. What's the address? Oh, so it was supposed to be north, whatever the street was, and I was south. I got there amazing in time, but absolutely. So, Richard, we need y'all to show up too.
And register. You see this QR code?
Yes.
The registration form there. If you go ahead and register, you will secure your seat. We don't know how many people going to show, but we want to make sure you are there.
And I'm going to be there. Valerie going to be there. DJ Roxy going to be there.
Dahlia Dow's Motorcycle Club's going to be there.
Yeah.
You say that for last, baby. You say that for last.
Listen,
Big up to the president, V.
Yeah. She, I know her. I hope she watching. Yeah. I wasn't gonna say the name. I was gonna mention them. I'm glad that you said, because I always get their name wrong.
Okay.
I just call them the Dials. She know that. I just say the Dials.
They are Dials.
Yeah. I'm just glad to see that, the bike community.
Yeah.
Is involved
Absolutely.
in it. That's good. And I always speak on this when it comes down to the bike community, because there's so many people on the outside that's so judgmental about the bikers and the bike culture and everything. But it's a lot of bikers that do a lot of positive things.
Absolutely.
And they got everyday working jobs and careers. They just have a passion for riding motorcycles and wearing a lot of black. but that does not mean that they're a bad person.
Absolutely.
But that's the stigma and the stereotype. So I'm always speaking highly on that and bringing awareness to that. So I'm glad to see that you do have a motorcycle club that's
actually
being involved.
Because the next stop is going to be April the 19th. That's going to be at Men Like Us.
Men Like Us.
Is another,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another group.
I mess with them too.
What we're saying here is that everybody got a seat at the table.
Yes.
If you got somebody pushing you out, we're going to get together and push them out because we all got a seat at the table. Like I said, VAC, Ypsi Cannot Share, Washtenaw County Health Department is going to be there, Silent Cry, League of Women Voters. From all walks of life, we're coming together to say that our vote and our voice is important, and we need you there. All hands on deck.
See, that's amazing. And Lavish, let me tell you something. Some of the best protection I've ever had in my entertainment career has been from the biker community. And trust me, I have been in situations, there's like, we got you. And I'm like, okay, there's like, listen, follow us. I'm like, all right, let's go.
That part.
So yeah, we do need to break that stereotype, that old school stereotype. So we gonna have fun this Friday. The weather gonna be nice. We gonna be nice. It's gonna be a great event. Come on out.
Come out.
Register with the QR code. Go to the, what page is it on
it's
Facebook?
On Survivor Speak page.
Yes.
Survivors with the S on the end and Speak without an S because some people switch that around.
They do switch it up.
Yeah. Look for the purple hand.
It's going to be on Lavish's page, on his Facebook page. It's on Ginger Hudson on my Facebook page. Go in, get registered, come out, plan to be out for an amazing, amazing event. Like the pastor said, we ain't going to keep you long.
We ain't going to keep you long.
Come on, get there early and eat.
Briefly, if the Lord say the same.
So like the Lavish and Coco podcast, like us, share up, subscribe to us, because we doing all the stuff. Yeah, we laugh and we joke and all that stuff like that, but we still got our heels dug into the community and what we need. Yeah. So we appreciate you. Brother Lavish, I know you got a closing word as I pass the collection plate. You welcome, Trisha. You.
What we doing? You doing
tell the people to like and follow us.
I'm saying y'all got to clap it. And
women always clap.
You know what happens when you get a group, when somebody start clapping, we don't even know we clapping for everybody. Just
shoot, today we clapping for life.
Black excellence, baby.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Yeah, black excellence. Definitely that. Definitely that.
We clapping for that. We clapping for Lavish being an amazing black man.
Yes. Black king in the hand.
Yes. And dealing with us, and he ain't gonna put no strangers on his bike.
And stay off his bike.
We ain't gonna do none of that.
I was gonna ask for a ride, but I think I would.
Oh, you a sister. You a sister. You can ride.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you know that probably ain't gonna go so well.
Well, if he say that means he think you cute. I learned to speak lavish. It don't matter. Listen.
With the red nose.
Yeah, I learned to speak lavish. That means, he think you cute, Trisha. So that's what that means.
I think you cute too.
He is a little biscuit.
We had to come over
a
there.
A little biscuit with some gravy.
Gravy.
Okay, Coco, back down to reality.
I cooked yesterday too. We ain't gonna even get into that. I cooked them.
Did you cook with love?
I always cook with love. If I don't feel like it or I'm agitated, and this is something I learned from my grandmama, don't cook mad and angry.
Yeah.
So I went down and I had taken some chicken out 2 or 3 days ago. But
What's your favorite part of the chicken?
I really like wings and thighs.
Okay.
But I had some chicken breast cutlets and some thighs. And I made a little chicken and dumpling.
That was so wrong, wasn't it?
That was
they
seen that. They seen that.
I'm so sorry.
I know. He like a bad little kid.
I didn't do anything.
I made a little bit of chicken and dumplings, and it was so good. I had the carrots, the purple onion.
Ooh.
I had carrots, purple onion, some celery, and everything. It was amazing. Sauteed it with a little butter, and then I made my roux so it'd be just thick enough, and I made them dumplings, and it wasn't too much. How I know? Because I went down in the kitchen this morning on my way out, and that little pot was just laying there like, this is what they left me.
So Coco, why is the thigh? Like, why do you like the thigh?
Because, so if you making something, a lot of people like the breast, but you got to get a thin enough breast so it won't be dry.
Yeah, the juice.
Yeah, the thigh is dark meat, and my folks are, my other part of my family is They Jamaican. And other cultures use the chicken thigh and the leg because dark meat is juicier and it don't dry out. So if you mix the breast and the thigh. Dark meat. All right, Trisha, I ain't finna go down this rabbit hole with him.
I'm just asking. It's chicken we talking about.
Sometimes I like dark, I like it brown, I like it sauteed, I like it simmered. It all depends on if it's seasoned or not. Cooked right. Yes.
So do it got to be meaty or not?
Well, I done got it ain't got to be real thick. I done got a little old. All that dinosaur and Godzilla. That don't have to do nothing but.
No, thank you.
That's right. Take us on out.
What about you? I mean, what's your favorite part of the chicken? I mean, I'm talking food.
Yeah, we know.
Like, what's your favorite part?
Tricia, that's what you do. Put your little
no meat. I'm going no meat after today. You done messed it up for me. No meat. I'm a vegetarian as of right now.
See, I
was just asking because
you did that.
Summertime has come up. There's a lot of
you
grilling going on.
I like dark meat, but I'm a breast girl.
You're a breast girl?
Yeah, I'm a breast girl.
Why do you like the breast?
Because it's a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat.
And if you cook it right, it can be juicy. If you slice that breast in half.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, butterfly. You got a butterfly.
Got a butterfly. This is the
okay.
Yeah.
So get that grill out over there on Puritan. I'm on my way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't going on the bike though, but I will come get some chicken.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it was a beautiful show today. I ain't had to work harder.
Yeah, no, I just ask. That's how you learn information or whatnot. Breast, that's cool.
Shout out to Just Our Opinion podcast. Make sure y'all check that out tomorrow at 8 p.m. Robin, Ty, and Mike. They do an amazing podcast as well, and we support each other.
Robin wants me to come by tomorrow, and I really do. I got to see how my schedule's going to be because I would love
to do the show,
to get on the show because they talk about that stuff that they need my opinion on.
Sex,
yeah,
and relationships.
Yeah. I mean, you
got me all nervous. I'm breaking my.
I know.
Listen, a lot of people when they get next to me, they get nervous. So. I mean, what can I say? But yeah, Just Our Opinion podcast. I think they need me. I mean, I'm back in college and everything, and I'm back in school.
Awesome.
And me, I'm like a sexologist.
Okay.
I'm like a sexologist.
No, you're not.
I'm a sexologist, and you need an expert's opinion when it comes down to a lot of this kind of stuff. No man is
an expert when it comes to sex.
Coco.
Thank y'all for watching the Lavish and Coco podcast with our special guest, Trisha Duckworth. No man is an expert when it comes to sex.
Coco.
I said it.
Say what you like.
Prove me wrong.
Lord.
Coco, listen, man. Go get your mind out the gutter. Go find something to do.
Listen, I'm finna do it. I'm finna go home and go get me some cleaning products from the dollar store and do a good cleaning. You have to clean like every other week. You got to go down through that, clean your bathroom.
Well, I hope you ain't cleaning. Oh, okay, your bathroom. Because I'm like, I hope you ain't going to the dollar store to clean up down there. But you talking about your bathroom.
Listen. This pocketbook right. You know why my pocketbook be right? Because I don't let everybody put their change in it. Da-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
I guess. Okay. Hey, listen, man. I thank everybody for tuning in.
We do.
Watching Lavish and Coco podcast. Our beautiful, bright, shining guests.
So I think that's the third one. So he's met his quota.
He got his quota
about my nose today.
And see, if you ain't saying that when nobody had even looked at it.
Yeah, she, low nose, so
okay.
The nose, like I say, you sit next to me, get a little nervous, the nose a little shiny, and everything like that. So, but it's all good.
You are so in love with yourself. I love it.
If I don't love myself, nobody else will. Nobody's gonna love me like I love myself. Sometimes I sit there, listen, let me tell you, sometimes I take selfie pictures of myself. And I sit in the car sometimes, I just look at myself. I'm like, I remember that picture. That's when I was on 12 Mile. I remember I took that picture. I was sitting at the riverfront. I'm like, man, I forgot about. Let me post this selfie up real quick because I forgot. I look too good not to have this up on the internet.
and the Bible said you have to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you don't love yourself right, you cannot love your neighbor right. Amen. Glory.
Amen. I got to give me some of those church sound effects in here.
Between me and thee, while we're absent one from another. Amen. Well, that's old Baptist church right there.
Baptist right there.
When they used to sing, I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord.
Go ahead, keep it going. Let's go, sisters.
The Lord until I die. Ooh, that's all. We went back. Ooh, we sound kind of good too. Add us to the program for Friday.
That's right.
Put us on program.
Every Friday is Good Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Trisha. We're going to keep up with everything that you're doing. You're doing amazing work in the community, and I'm excited to be a part of everything that's going on. So listen, y'all. I see y'all Friday.
Yep. Thank you.
We out here.
Welcome.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Make sure you follow us, like us, subscribe. Check us out on all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
And share.
Absolutely.
Sharing is caring.
Yes. That's what he said. I mean...
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch the company that you keep. You know she's an old freak, a throwback.
I'm a
throwback.
I ain't listen. They ain't never threw me back. they ain't never threw your girl back.
Woo, we
They
out
threw
of
me
here.
in and said, put on the team, coach.